Good afternoon, students. So, we'll be continuing the remaining part of the poem, The Farmer's Wife. And we have studied about the plight of the woman who had lost her husband in her life. And here we have understood and studied how she is going to face her future problem, expressing her lamentation, her grief, her cry, sadness, by recalling some of the truths in her life, where her husband knew that she was lacking in many ways of leading her life here. She expresses her sadness that he knows her well, that she has not exposed or knew the way how she could bring up her children, how she could take care of them, and how she could come out of some practices and beliefs in which this male-dominant society has. So that is what we have seen. She complains that against her husband, that he knows very well that she can't do many things on her own to maintain her future life in this poem. See, if you go back to our previous stanza here, true, the crop was gone, the debt remained, our dignity hit the dust, our hearts turned to water, but how did you imagine my back would bear the burden of 4 children? So we had a lot of discussion on this stanza where she expresses her inability, not completely inability, where she was not taught or trained or practiced, or you can say used to these things as such. She knows the truth about everything, but committing suicide is not the answer or the solution for these things. He would have thought of children, his children, 4 children. How could she bear or bring up or shape their life in this society? That's what her complaint. Next stanza. You saw your crop destroyed. You saw your crop destroyed. What of the harvest of my home? Okay. You have worked in the field. You have brought so many things to grow. And you have borrowed money from many people, taken credit, and still it is debt. Okay, the crop is destroyed. You have seen that the crop has been destroyed. But have you ever thought of harvest of my home? Yes, the birth that I have given to my 4 children. Do you ever think of their growth as they born from my womb? Did you ever think of this? what will be their future? Who will going to take care and look after the boys or children well in life? What of the harvest of my home? Can I leave them to the wind like worm-eaten cotton pods? When once there is a thunder or a tempest, the wind, strong wind blowing, the cotton pods will be blown off by the force of the wind. Blown away by the force of wind. In the same way, so can I leave them to the wind like worm-eaten cotton pods? See how strange these feelings are difficult to digest these things as we human beings. The position or the situation that she is in now is really horrible. One cannot even think of this situation of life here. It takes a moment to die. Now she is making up herself a bit courageous. She takes up some change in her mind here, and she expresses a will of taking care or about life here. It takes a moment to die. Yes, of course, this is true. To die, you never require more time. Within a fraction of seconds, you may die. But to lead life, but to bring up their children, to bear the children, to look after the children, needs much time here, and it needs the hard work and the responsibility of the parents here. It takes a moment to die, but open your mouth and ask, what of this? Why is this? Needs a firm heart. To teach my children to cleanse a face, not merely for a handful of rice. Look at the things, how she comes out of the world where she was alone and dark, it was dark, and she makes up her mind to come to an understanding that she can make it, and she elevates her mind to understand the responsibility where she has to take care about the children and about her children and her life here. And her role means a responsibility here. She says it takes a moment to die, but open your mouth and ask, is it possible for a dead husband to open? No. See the pain that makes her to speak like this. The loneliness and the future life that hurts and disturbs a lot here. She is emotional here, full of grief, full of pain about the life here. She says, her husband, did you ask yourself, what of this? Why is this? What for you are committing the suicide? Why are you committing the suicide? One should need a firm heart. To do anything in your life, you require a firm heart, a courage, a strong willpower, a strength to face problems in your life. You ask yourself why you have born, what for you have born, the purpose of your birth. Is this dying? Is this committing suicide? So, in order to come out of those confusions, furies, miseries in your mind, bewilderments in your mind, you should require a firm heart, a strong heart, where you can face them and come out of those things. To teach my children to clench a fist, not merely for a handful of rice, but in battle. I must live. I must embrace life, not death. Embrace life and the struggle for life. Think she has made up herself. To come out of this, she thought and decided to live on earth, and she has no fear and anything like nervousness to bring up her children and care and to give them love and affection. She has enough courage here. And she come to an understanding that I need not struggle a lot or commit suicide to teach my children, and to clench a fist, not merely for a handful of rice, not only for food. I should decide myself to take care of my children and bringing them up in their life, providing all sorts of comforts to them, and which will shape or mold their future in life. For that, you need not need a handful of rice, but in battle. She compares life to a battle here. So, in order to lead a happy life or life on earth, one should fight in the battle and live. To live in this battle of life, you have to fight against so many miseries, pains, grief, difficulties, and you have to face them courageously, and you must embrace life. Not wealth, you must welcome life and lead life. And to lead is your aim, not to die. You should not embrace death. You should embrace life. And you must know that life is full of miseries and difficulties given to man or a human, and you have to face them. You have to come out of them by experiencing the thing. They are given as raw material to all of us. You have to make yourself the useful out of those useless or raw materials as such. We are like stones, the way stones lying on the land, somewhere on the surface of the earth. And the stone was given to a man to shape according to his aim and goal. So he has to scrap, or he has to sketch, or he has to draw a fine figure out of this rock, wild rock, to shape. So they were all given in the form of raw materials. Raw materials are nothing but miseries, pains, difficulties, sorrows, all those things. So by facing all these things in life, you can achieve success in life. So that is why Olga here suggests us to embrace life, not death. To embrace life is to live. To embrace life is a strong suggestion and a message by Olga here from her poem, The Farmer's Wife here. Embrace life and the struggle for life. Yes, you have to welcome the life as it comes to us. If you don't welcome your life as it is, you can't live. Or you can't lead the life on earth. So one has to experience it. One has to face it, embrace it as it comes to us. See, I am strong, I am rich, I am so and so, thinking like that. If you want to alter life yourself, or if you try to change the way of life yourself, I don't think you will be successful in leading life. You have to welcome it, experience it as it comes to you. Otherwise, no. If the problems comes, miseries, sorrows, you should be able to face them. You should struggle to face them or to come out of them. If you sit quietly, or if you don't face or struggle with the difficulties in life, I don't think you will going to get success in your life. No. Here, the situation of the farmer is like that. He never ever tried to think of his responsibility here. He never ever think of coming out of the debt or the credit that he had in his life here. Since he is a farmer, listen, he had a land to farm. He had a chance of growing many crops in the future years yet to come. That is not the ultimate end of his life or producing crop here. She says, the cotton pods have been destroyed, crop has been destroyed by natural calamities. And you stand in yesterday with yesterday, you never thought of the future, she says. Isn't it? You have to think about that. If you are blind in thinking so, this is what you have to do. So, committing suicide is not a solution for your difficulties or sorrows in your life. If you sit quiet having these problems and difficulties in your life, you will never come out of those things. You have to struggle, you have to work hard, and you have to think yourself creatively, positively to come out of those things. Unless and until you work hard, you struggle, you fight with those sorrows or difficulties in your life, you will never lead your life on earth. So or else, if you don't think positively, and if you don't think that you have a strength and energy to fight against those things, if we sit calmly, and if you become a victim to negative thoughts, that I can't do anything, that the death is the ultimate thing that I have to, go for, so I don't think no one can help you. I don't think your mind or heart elevates to understand the struggle of life, struggle for life as such. So, dear students, the theme or the message here is very much clear to all of us here. You can understand the plight of the woman in this poem here. You can come to know the problems that she may face or she can come out of in her life here. And if you have a strength, if you have a will, there is a way, people say. Isn't it? We have a collocation in English also that if you have a will, there is a way. Where there is a will, there is a way. So it's truth, the existentiality. If you feel there is nothing, if you don't have a will to perform or to come out of any difficulty or sorrow, I don't think you will find any way to come out of that misery or sorrow. No. If you must have a strong willpower, you must have a faith in your will, you must have a courage to win those difficulties or hurdles in your life. Then only you can find out the solution to come out of such miseries or sorrows in your life. So, dear students, this is a strong message, a very important message from this poem. Olga deals with such an existential truth, or the truth that deals with life, one's life, or the experiences that she might have seen or experienced in her life have been shown in her poems. As we knew that her poetry reflects well-articulated feminist positions here, and she is a feminist writer. Or you can say poetess. Her works are feminism or feminist based works. She herself is a feminist dealing with the works, problems, difficulties, sorrows of women here. And she presents the reality of the characters in her poetry or works here. Reality. If you feel, if you read The Farmer's Wife, you will become emotional or completely involved in the difficulties are going to face by this woman here who had lost her husband in her life, leaving her children, 4 children and herself as alone in this world. His children and wife were made orphans on this land. Being alone in this world, the woman makes up her mind, okay, finds the ways to come out of the grief or sorrows of her life without her husband, okay, is shown at the end of the poem here. And there is a message to the all woman folk here that you will be trained, experienced to face any sort of difficulty in your life. Don't depend upon anybody in your life to come out of the sorrows in your life. It's you who have to face the sorrows. It's you who have to train yourself to face the difficulties. And it's you to gain the knowledge and awareness to face the difficulties in your life. It's not dependency. It's not your elders or parents. It's not the money or the property that you are going to depend upon. It is the willpower, it is the strength and courage one has to have to face the hurdles in your life. That is what is important. So, in the other side, her advice or piece of advice to the woman is train yourself. Gain yourself a strength to face problems. Teach yourself. Okay, educate yourself. Okay, become self-reliant in your life so that you face the difficulties and come out of those things and lead your life on your own. Don't depend upon husband, father, brother, or anybody, any relatives, because life has no perfection in death. Everybody has death in his life. Everybody experiences death as he experiences the birth here. So that is why we are not certain that we are going to live forever. So you are not sure that you are going to live on earth. If you believe in that, so I don't think you can be successful in your life. So that is why she urges us, she strongly provokes us to be train ourselves or gain ourselves towards achieving lives, to face the problems, hurdles, sorrows in life. So this is a feministic way of advising or suggesting the woman folk here through this poem here. And why did you think the author or the poetess like Olga gives us the ways like this, or training schedules or syllabus to so-called the woman folk here? Because we know, and the poetess knows, that it is the woman victims to death. It is the women who become victims to the death or difficulties or sorrows in between life. They were made as orphans. So that is why she make those people to think of their life, themselves, to come out of the darkness of so-called men-dominant society, male-dominant society, where there is no good atmosphere, facilities, or a position to her and face the problems and train herself, gain education to face such things in life. Don't blindly follow others. Don't blindly believe and have faith on people in your life. If you want to run a self-reliant life, you should come out of the dependency better. Or otherwise, you will be exploited like this. You will become victims to death or difficulties in your life. So that is what her suggestion in this poem, and where Olga beautifully explains the plight of the woman in this poem here. So here, now my responsibility of explaining to you about the plight of the wife of a farmer here, when she was all alone in the world, when she lost her husband, when he has committed suicide, fearing or afraid of the credit or the remaining debt in his life, and he has surrendered to death by poisoning himself. And by poisoning himself, he has made the life of the woman or his wife as poison here. He has poisoned the very life of his wife as well as his 4 children here. So, it is not just he consumed poison and dead, he poisoned the whole life of the woman here and also the children here. So that's what she says, or she comes strongly out of the thing here. Yes, he has life by consuming poison himself, isn't it? He has poisoned the whole life of the family here. The wife as well as the 4 children he left, isn't it? 4 children. Who will take care of them? Consuming poison is very easy. Taking a decision to die is very easy, and it is too short time you require to take that decision. But what about the life of a wife here? You have not taught her how to lead life. You have not taught her to go to market and sell the crops. You have not taught her how to get the credit from others. You have not taught her how to clear the credit to the people. And you have not permitted to her experience or enjoy her freedom here. And you have taken the decision of committing suicide yourself. What for? Why for? Before you take such a decision, you should think about the family, about the responsibility. It needs a firm heart to take the decision or to make yourself stronger to face the problems. See how beautifully she is. You need a firm heart, a strong, a stable heart. And people say, if you have a strong will, there is a will. See what? Where there is a will, there is a way. Isn't it? And one has to embrace life but not death. But not death. Isn't it? And embrace life and the struggle for life. Embrace life, one, and embrace life and the struggle for life. See how beautifully she comes up and at the end of the poem here. How beautifully or meaningfully she conclude the poem in advising or suggesting strongly to the so-called women folk here. She's completely feministic view or of opinion towards so-called the victims in this category, that is the woman in life. And she has seen and experienced a new young number or more number of such incidents or plights of so many women struggling in their life without knowing how to lead their life, without deciding or making or feel courageous towards leading the life. So, where there is a will, there is a way. See, if you have a will, a strong will or a firm heart, so that you find a way to lead your life, to get success in your life. And life is there to embrace, but death, no. Be away from death. So she says, embrace life but not death. And embrace life and the struggle for life. So this is what the ultimate climax or the message that Olga here suggests to the people or the readers through her poem, The Farmer's Wife. Okay, it's time. Now I will end up this session. Thank you.